back again, and we've already discussed data mining and marketing, which I believe are two of the most important aspects of this business. If you fail at executing on those two things properly, you're going to really struggle as a wholesaler. There's nothing more important to a wholesaler than data mining and marketing, and that's why I put them up first, and that's why I put so much emphasis on them. But now that we've talked about them, how are we going to implement them into our lives? So many of us will still have a 9-to-5, or we are walking away from a 9-to-5, where we are used to creating and entering into someone else's system, where they tell you what time to show up, when to go to lunch, when to go on break, and what you have to get done for your day. Well, when you break away from your 9-to-5 and you start trying to do this on your own, you're going to have to build the structure around yourself. And one of the best ways I recommend doing that is setting a schedule for your time. Otherwise, you're going to go through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you're going to hit Friday. You're going to be like, what the heck did I do all week? And you're not going to really have a whole lot of actionable, accomplished steps that have occurred through the week that you can clearly dictate get you to your goal. So let's take care of something real quick. One of the biggest things that I'm going to be able to advise any one of y'all is to eliminate busy work. And what I mean by busy work is you're sitting down and you're looking at like, oh, I'm busy. I got my desk organized. I ordered all my file folders. I've got all my postcards ready to print. I went ahead and I set up some, another email account, and I did all of that. You did stay busy. Yep, you got a lot of things there. You even got some postcard material, but what did you not do for the entire day? And that's what we're going to call RGA. I did not create that acronym. Someone else did, and I honestly don't know who, but that's called revenue generating activities. Yes, you cleaned your desk. Yes, you ordered postcard material. Yes, you set up a new email account, but any of those items create anything that could create revenue for you? No. Yeah, you got your email set up, but you didn't do any email marketing with it. Yeah, you got your postcards, but you didn't print any and mail them out. Yeah, you got your desk cleaned, but you sure as hell didn't make any money. Busy work will make you feel like you were being accomplished. Busy work will make you feel like, yeah, I put in 18 hours yesterday, but you didn't do a damn thing to get paid. So you always need to go through and prioritize your time throughout the week in what we're going to call revenue generating activities get prioritized first. Those are all the things that will get you paid. And when we are talking about wholesaling, what will get you paid? Data mining and marketing. So your initial everything should be going straight to learning as much as you possibly can about the data mining aspect of it, the motivations, and learning about marketing. Past the revenue generating activities in the day, let's say, I block out some time in my day and I say the first 6 hours of my day will be committed strictly to marketing. Well, let's say I've got another 3 or 4 more hours left in the day that I plan on putting in. And if you are going at this, you need to take into consideration, you're going to need to put in some extra hours. This is going to be a 9-to-9, not a 9-to-5. So you quit your 9-to-5 to get into your 9-to-9. You're going to have to commit some extra hours after that to the things that need to get done. Like you've got revenue generating activities, and then there's things that need to get done. What are some things that might need to get done? I need to get my email set up. I need to file my taxes. I need to order more postcards. Those are things that need to get done. Revenue generating activity is sending those postcards out. Does that make sense? All right, so we need to focus on revenue generating activities and then the things that need to get done. And then the last that we put on the list are the things that we want to get done. What I mean by want to get done? Well, I want to clean my desk. I want to organize my desk. But does that have to be done for me to generate that revenue? No. So revenue generating activities first, things that support the revenue generating activities second, and then things that you just want to get done next. Like, you know what? I want to clean my desk. You know what? I want to go through and clean up my inbox. No, not revenue generating activity or things that need to be done. So to give you some insight as to where that evolved from is when I first got started, I used to get stuck in my head of just sitting in front of my computer like, oh, I feel like I'm being busy, but I'm not really doing anything. And then my wife finally was like, because I'd get distracted and I'd just go all over the place, ADD like none other. And she got me to put down a little spiral notebook next to my keyboard. And she'd tell me, anytime you have an idea, something that you need to do, just put it on there and then finish the task that you're on. Well, as I started doing that, I then started prioritizing the things by what needed to get done first. And it just felt good as you're going throughout the day to cross stuff off of that list. So I would always, if I were you, find some sort of app on your phone, but I wouldn't do that because if you're working and you have to pull out your phone to add this note, Then you get other distractions. Oh, I missed this phone call. Oh, I got this text message. Oh, I got this email. Keep your phone away from you. It is a complete and total distraction. If you're on Facebook 9 hours out of your day, no, that is not working unless it's a revenue generating activity that can clearly create income for your business, such as network marketing in your forums and or creating posts revolving around your business to get the word out there about your business. Stay off Facebook, okay? But that's how that whole thing came apart. I mean, and once I started arranging my day based on RGA needs and wants, and all I would focus on is RGA. And if, you know, my entire day ended up being 12, 13, 14 hours of RGA, that was a good day. Yeah, some of my needs got missed, some of my wants got missed, but if I focused all week long on revenue generating activities, where your focus is, you know, where your focus is, things will follow. And so keep that in mind. Some things to protect this is going to be time blocking. What I mean by time blocking is you need to pull out your calendar and start living and dying by your calendar. Open it up and block out specific times for specific activities. If we know that we are in a capital crunch and we're needing some revenue and we're needing it fast, your entire week should be full of RGA. Nothing but RGA. But as we move forward, you know, let's say I've got a pipeline of income coming in, I've got other things going on. Maybe my calendar will start transitioning out, but you need to have it blocked into your calendar. Otherwise, you're going to get a phone call from best friend, family, somebody, and they'll be like, hey, can we go to lunch today? And you're like, sure, let's go do lunch because I don't have anything on my calendar. We go out, we meet for lunch, and we end up talking, and then we're like, oh, well, let's go do this, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you've lost half your day, and you have done nothing for your business because you don't have it in your calendar, and you're not living and dying by the calendar. What I would need you to do is go find you an app, whatever calendar it is. I use Gmail. You use whatever calendar you need to. If you want to find something fancier, go for it. But start entering into your calendar your work hours and what you need to be doing in those hours. Set reminders on those events so that way you're constantly being reminded, oh yeah, tomorrow I have to do this. Oh yeah, in 35 minutes I have this. Set those reminders up so that way you've got a boss looking over your shoulder at all times reminding you what you have to do next. Some of the most successful people I've ever met, all time block, all of them. Okay, so if you do it, that's all I can say, man, do it. Okay, this will help you, the time blocking aspect will help you avoid gaps of income. So with the activities of like, if all I'm doing is focusing on wants and needs, I can go for a month and not do a single revenue generating activity, which will end up creating, you know, waves of income. It's like boom, boom, boom. And also through the time blocking, I'm gonna kind of give you a, how would I say that? The roller coaster of a new wholesaler. What's gonna happen is you're gonna start out way down here making nothing. And then all of a sudden you do a bunch of marketing because you've done what you were told. You're like, you need to go out and do data mining. You need to go out and do marketing. So you're gonna be down here making no money at start because you're doing the data mining and marketing. And then you start marketing and then all of a sudden, guess what happens? Those phone calls start coming in. And as those phone calls start coming in, you get contracts, and as those contracts come in, you get overwhelmed. And you're managing all your contracts, you're managing the title companies, you're managing the banks, you're managing everything else in between. And then all of a sudden up here way at the top, I'm even way off the screen, you get way up there and guess what happens? You made a ton of money. And then guess what starts happening to your revenue? You see it? Boom, it starts dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, and then it hits right back down to zero again. If you are a newer wholesaler and you're experiencing this where you're getting waves of income, what we need to look at is your calendar and how you are managing this. Because what's happening is back here, you don't have anything going on other than RGA. And then all of a sudden you have transaction management, you've got appointments, you've got phone calls, you've got closings. And then once we get up here to the closings part, guess what you stopped doing? You stopped doing your revenue generating activities for marketing. Marketing has to happen at all times. If your marketing starts doing this, your revenue will start doing that. So just because you have a contract and just because you're pushing it to closing does not mean by any point of the word mean stop marketing. You're going to have maybe some longer days. Now you've got a little bit more responsibilities, but during your transaction coordinating and getting it to title and getting it to closing, you still have to market that entire time. Otherwise, you'll get to closing, and then all the funds that you have right there are going to go right back to rebuilding up your pipeline again so you can get paid again, and you're going to hit waves of income that are going to cause you to struggle as a wholesaler. Okay, it's important. You know, a lot of people will do this. Okay, personal growth. I'm going to go ahead and list through 4 or 5 things that need to remain on your calendar at all times. You need to allocate some portion of your week to this. Now, depending on where you're at in business will depend upon how much of this activity you put into your calendar. But one of the things that you're going to have to put into your calendar starting out, since you have no experience or you have minimal experience, or maybe you're more advanced in watching this, either way around, if you're new in the business, you need to have a considerable amount of your work week applied to personal growth. You need to block out, 15 to 20 hours a week. And I'm just throwing stuff out there, but 15 to 20 hours a week of doing nothing but studying something about wholesaling that you did not previously know. When you study that, that's not all that you need to do. So you take the 15 to 20 hours of studying it and then take another 10 to 15 hours of trying to implement it. And if you're just now starting out, what should your initial activities be? Marketing. Go out and spend part of your week getting some education, spend the rest of your week trying to apply that education to some form of marketing, so that way you can learn about motivations, data mining, going out and scraping public records for information, and then putting it all together and putting together a marketing package so that way you can start marketing. So starting out, some time applied to personal growth and a bulk of your time applied to marketing. So if you're going to work a 60-hour week, 20, maybe 25 hours applied to education, and then the rest of it to learning and applying marketing strategies, all of it, okay? Well, once you start marketing, other things are going to happen. You're going to start getting phone calls, which will lead to appointments and contracts. Those appointments, phone calls, and contracts only need to be, they need to be a priority because they're definitely revenue generating activities. So you definitely, anytime you have an appointment, boom, your schedule gets moved around. But what I mean by moved around is if you got a 1:30 appointment on Saturday or Friday, well, guess what? If that appointment takes you 2.5 hours, you're going to have to work an extra 2.5 hours that day because you cannot eliminate your education and your marketing from your work week. You're going to have to put in a little bit of a longer day. If you have to slow one of those two activities down, start slowing down the education and keep the marketing going. Because if that marketing just generated a lead for you, guess what? You have scored more than most all other people in this business achieve. You'll walk into a room and say, how many people want to wholesale? And you'll see 5,000 hands show up. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. And then you start talking about all the work that goes into it. Of the 5,000 of them, almost none of them are actually going to go on an appointment. So this right here, if you get to that appointment, you have scored. You have started a process in which you can start making money. The marketing is creating opportunity for you to go out there and make some money. So put this into your schedule, but make sure that you don't completely eliminate something else from your schedule. Going through from there, one of the key things that you're going to need is follow-up and systems. As you start out, you start getting your education, start putting your marketing together. As you put your marketing together, opportunities start occurring, appointments, contracts, and closings. You need follow-up and systems into your schedule. As you have seen, there's starting to become more and more things that need to hit your schedule. Starting out, you're going to be heavily weighted on education, data mining, and marketing. That's going to be where you're heavily focused. Your schedule, your work week should start shifting as you progress in this business. You'll start possibly doing less education because you've gotten into a rhythm, a groove, but it still needs to be on there. But instead of it being 25 hours, maybe it's 5 hours a week, and you apply that 5 hours to either watching some Propelio TV or reading some more books about business and business management, or you start reading about the next layer of real estate investing, such as maybe I'll start going into buy and holds, using the BRRRR method, going through using some subject to and wraps. You go through, start doing rehabs, or you start creating notes. There's a lot of things to look at in real estate, but don't ever stop your education, just slow it down. Well, now with the extra time that you have more time for your appointments and contracts and transaction management. And at the point in time that your appointments, contracts, and transaction management are taking up so much of your time that you are starting to slip on marketing, you should be at a point where there's revenue coming in that you could possibly hire a virtual assistant or possibly hire somebody in-house. But now that person can be allocated some of your schedule, as in maybe they take care of all the marketing, or maybe they take care of all the acquisitions calls. Find out what the piece of your business is that you like the least and you dread the most, and find somebody that is an absolute rock star in that position and apply them to that position so you can then start what? Growing a business. Growing a business. If all you ever do is just wholesale, you're never going to retire. That I'll debate that with anybody that wants to on it, But if all you do is wholesale, you're never going to retire. Now, if you take wholesaling and you turn it into a business, you know, you might have the opportunity of sitting back and letting your business run like clockwork and bring revenue to you. But business is what's making the money. It's not really the wholesaling, okay? Just think about that thought process for a second. Okay, so as you go through, you hire a marketer to go through and start handling your marketing, or you hire an acquisitions person to handle your acquisitions. You freed up more of your time, and then you need to start working about follow-up and documenting all the processes in between so that way you can start scaling this business up. That is my 2 cents on going into this on your own, that you seriously need time blocking, focus on RGA, you need to focus on needs next, and then once later, and that your week should follow up around these 4 items. And with those 4 items, that'll kind of vary through your schedule as you progress in this business. Some action items for you to do before we leave this class is go ahead and find an app or a calendar that you enjoy and will likely use. Start using it. If it becomes so complicated that you have to spend a week learning it, you're probably doing yourself a disservice. Find a simple app that can put a calendar on it, give you notifications. Use that. I use Gmail. And I need, before you even go on to the next one, is to open that calendar up and set the schedule for your week. If you have a 9 to 5, well, then you need to block out your evenings. You need to block out your weekend. If you don't have a job right now, you need to block out your entire week, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day. You need to be out there busting ass. You've got to do your revenue generating activities. Time block your calendar and live by it. If it says that I'm going to be doing marketing on this morning, I'm not going to cancel my marketing and go out and meet with somebody, unless it is a revenue generating activity that is more important than what's already on my calendar. RGA, you got to make that money. All right, you do that, download your app, create your calendar, and I'll see you on the next class.